Thanks, Bill. Thanks, Jen. I'm here with Shane Turgeon, who's the owner and proprietor of Shades of Grey on White. How you doing today, Shane?
Good, how are you?
So what can you tell us here about a little bit about your store?
We are pretty much the world's only tattoo, toy, comic book shop and art gallery. We're all we're into super nerdy stuff around here, and we figured we'd put it all into one upscale location and in a place like unlike anywhere else. So, I mean, there's over 70 shops in this city, but we're one that really stands apart.
How is it that you came about actually getting this location and establishing yourself here in Edmonton?
There's been a combination of a lot of different things. I've been putting on tattoo events for Lucasfilm for several years, and I've been running a website dedicated to Star Wars tattoos for over 12 years. And in doing that, I realized there was a huge crossover between geek and tattoo culture. And also, as being the promoter of the Edmonton Collectible Toy and Comic Book Show, I noticed that there was a lot of people coming to that show who were heavily tattooed and everything else. And I'm like, there's something to this, and I wonder if we put everything into like a super upscale location that combined all of it, how well it would work. And it's worked very, very, very well for us.
Is it primarily your own, or do you have partners that you work with?
I've been collecting and dealing for almost 20 years now, or over 20 years now. So in doing that, I've managed to build quite an inventory of stock of my own. But we also realized that, the stuff that I'm into isn't what everyone else is into. So we do have some consignment partners who helped us in our first year, kind of fill the store and everything like that. But we're slowly building our own inventory of different things. But yeah, we just try to have as much variety in the store as possible.
So what kind of oddball pieces do you have here in the store that you can just strike out as being like, I can't believe they made that?
I think the oddest thing that I have in the store right now would be the combination here of the Vanilla Ice doll. Like, I know he was popular in the 90s and everything, but really, a Vanilla Ice doll? But beside that, we have the Donnie and Marie Osmond dolls, and somebody got the Donnie doll signed by Donnie Osmond. I don't know if Marie wasn't available or just wasn't what they were into, but the Donnie doll is actually signed by Donnie Osmond.
How do you authenticate something like that? How do you know it's even his signature?
Whose wouldn't it be? Like, who would fake? Like, there's some things where it's like, who would fake signing a Donnie Osmond doll? Like, it's just too random to be fake. There's no way.
He's got a point there. I think he really does. Fun stuff. What else have you got lined up in the store?
This is a Mike Zeck and Bob McLeod Craven's Last Hunt page from Spectacular Spider-Man 191. Craven's Last Hunt was one of the most amazing and groundbreaking stories to ever come out of the 1980s.
So what would you think is the coolest thing that you have here in the store? Would it be this display right here of all the Joes?
I'm pretty proud of our G.I. Joe selection. I mean, I'm a huge G.I. Joe fan. I have G.I. Joe tattoos, and so it's something that I'm really passionate about. But we have a phenomenal selection of G.I. Joe stuff in here, like a whole bunch of original figures still in the original packaging, lots of complete figures, and some very rare stuff like pieces from Brazil, from Mexico, all kinds of different stuff. So the G.I. Joe stuff, we have, the vintage toys is what I'm into. So like any of the vintage stuff we have between like the G.I. Joe or the Star Wars stuff is what I'm super into and think is the best. But I mean, we've got a huge selection of graphic novels and statues and some older robots and some very, very cool things. We do art shows every couple of months. We have one tying in conjunction with the show actually on the 1st. On March 30th, we're having a supervillains art show, which is just tattooers doing a whole bunch of different paintings of their favorite supervillains. So we've had a variety of different art shows. We've had the Art of Akira exhibit. We've had Black Velvet pop culture paintings from an artist from North Carolina. Lots of different stuff. And we do have a lot of guest tattoo artists coming in to spend a week with us here and stuff like that. So we're always doing something different here at the shop to keep things interesting.
So you've been putting on the Edmonton Comics and Collectibles Toy Show for the last few years now. So when was the first year that it actually started?
The first year that we did the Edmonton Collectible Toy and Comic Show was in 2003, and it was a very, very small show. We only had 40 tables and about 25 dealers, and it was held at the Greenwood Inn. So this is our 10th year that we've been doing it now. So we're pretty excited to have come this far. Every year we've been growing, and as we grow, we make a lot of connections, and we're able to get people to come out. And we're very, very happy to have our guest list this year with Julie Benz and John Delancey and Steve Sansweet. We think it's just a phenomenal lineup. It's the biggest guest list that we've had here, and everyone seems to be very excited about it. We have Nat Jones, who's he's an image comic artist, worked on Spawn, and his big thing right now is 68, which he co-created. It's a zombie Vietnam story, and it is a really fantastic read. If you've never checked it out, I definitely recommend it. And we also have Robert Bailey, who's he's a famous World War II aviation illustrator, but he's recently been doing a lot of work for George Lucas, and is kind of has a whole new fan base coming from all that work, and we're very excited to have them. Plus, the shop here, Shades of Grey, will be at the show tattooing all day long, doing any manner of nerdy tattoos. So if you've always wanted that Superman logo, now's the time to come down and get it. No better time than at a comic book convention.
In a lot of ways, this show is almost kind of like a teaser to the Calgary Entertainment Expo that happens at the end of April. Has that just something that sort of worked out coincidentally, or do you have any connections with those guys as well?
We work hand in hand with Calgary a lot. We have some exciting things happening with them. You know, it's one of those things where people always compare us, like, why can't Edmonton do this? And people in Calgary say, well, why can't they have a show like they have in Edmonton? But we're very different events, and we serve different purposes, and we like to express that fact. I'd like to think of it less as a lead-in and more of it's a unique element unto itself that's just for Edmonton. They, like I said, they serve very different purposes, and we're really proud of the event that we have. And we just try to like push the positivity of it, and you know, we do a lot of great things, like working with charity groups like the Leukemia and Lymphoma Society and the Edmonton Food Bank, and this year we're working with the Make-A-Wish Foundation. So we really try to just make it a super positive, fun overall experience for everyone, and just kind of pack it into a one-day power show.
This is Lee Conrad with Shane Turgeon reporting for Arts Talk Online. Thanks very much for letting us hang out here for the day, and hopefully we can come back real soon.
Absolutely. Thanks for having me on.